All right, Jeff, thank you as always. Well, hey, if you are someone who's always doodling in the margins or dreaming up a story, today is your day. This morning we have comic book artist and teacher Paul here to walk us through how to draw like a comic pro, and he's also here to share the scoop on an upcoming class he's teaching as well. Paul, I'm really excited about this. I don't know if you know, but I like to claim to be kind of quite the cartoonist. Not really, I mean just in my free time, what have you. But tell me when this passion started of yours. Did you have a favorite comic as a kid of sorts growing up? How'd you get in this world?
Of course, I'm a huge nerd. I grew up with like superheroes, like Spider-Man, stuff like that. But I'm also like really into like anime and comics, like Dragon Ball and Naruto
Dragon
and
Ball.
Stuff like that.
I have heard of this. Yes, again, the anime world is very interesting. And so again, you draw these cartoons. You teach this as a class. Tell me what the process. Do you come up with the storyline first and then kind of draw characters, or do you teach just kind of drawing? What does it look like when you have students?
Yeah. So what I do is I try to teach the entire thing. I try to teach like from the art side all the way from like character designs to panel construction to all the way to storytelling and design and stuff like that and dialogue. I'm trying to help people learn like the entire thing all by themselves so they can be a completely independent comic artist.
Well, again, you can sign up for a class with Paul, but we're going to speed this up for TV time. You're going to teach me a few things here on the show today. Paul,
Absolutely.
How do you kind of go about drawing and teaching people how to draw? Do you think this can really be taught? Do people really learn this well?
Yeah, I've actually, I've had people of all different ages, and I had like I think like 8 or 9-year-old, super talented, and he's doing really well.
Okay, well, I can't promise I'm going to be that fantastic, but we're starting with a blank slate here. You can see it here for proof.
Yeah, we got blank slates. Yeah.
Where do we start here, Paul?
So, is there something specific you want to learn, or there's because it's kind of hard to teach you the whole thing in like 5 minutes.
Right. I will say, I mean, I'm trying to think of a cartoon. My specialty is Disney characters. That's where I've kind of drawn. I do kind of some Pixar things and things related to that. But no, I don't really have. Well, Superman is coming out. I know we're going to be talking about that in an upcoming story for our Hollywood Headlines News. So maybe we can do like a Superman.
Yeah, sure.
Inspired comic. Inspired. I mean, just let that run on its own. How should we go about it?
So I'll try to go over the process as quickly as possible.
Okay.
So first off, what we would do is we'd probably construct a tiny little panel. This is I call the thumbnail process, right? So let's just pretend we have like a little small page right here.
Sure. Right? Okay. I'm just going to be following Paul. Oh, Paul,
Yeah.
I don't know if I have pencil. Oh, wait, just kidding. Yes, we do. Okay. Okay, so we're just making kind of a little box.
Yeah, just make kind of like a little box, right?
So these are, the comic strips are called panels? Is that what this is?
So, yes. So, the process is you go through the whole thing, because let's say if you make like a big comic page, like let's say if you drew like the whole thing right here, and you don't have a plan, it's kind of hard to tell what you're going to be doing next.
Right, you have to map it out. There's a lot of science behind this.
It is, yeah. There's a lot of processes. That's why like my class is going to be multiple like classes. So that way you're learning like the step-by-step process.
Sure.
Each. So then you would so this is like imagine your page, right? This is your page right here, and then you start putting in your panels like let's say what I like to do, I like to add like a little.
Oh, we're kind of gridding it up here?
Yeah, gridding it up right here. And then it'd be like, hey, I want this shot to be more dynamic. So you just erase the lines over here.
Okay, so we're seeing this, you make it a little grid. Got that.
And then let's see if we just want to erase over here.
So you do use your eraser as an artist. That's allowed.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, I make a ton of mistakes, and I'm still learning as well. So you will catch me erasing a lot, and that's why I do digital art, because I can just Control Z everything.
Yes, I do want to talk about that. How is that landscape kind of different from what we're doing here as we continue to draw?
So traditional obviously is going to be a lot different feeling, a lot different of a process, because, for example, if you're coloring or painting. It's a lot easier to experiment because you don't have to worry about constantly making mistakes and stuff like that.
Okay, so I kind of erased a few. Can y'all see this? Yeah. All right, so we've got kind of our layout here.
So this is like thumbnail. So this is the thumbnail process where it's a lot tinier and it's a lot easier to manage because if
I was going to say, I thought we were going to use this whole page.
Yeah, you will, right. So this is like the planning process.
Okay.
So then you'd be like, hey, let's add like Superman's face right here, and then. We'll make it like really simple. So this is just like an
initial sketch.
Exactly.
This is like, hey, this is kind of what I'm thinking. We're gonna have Superman
here. And then we do like funny little smile. So it's just you know, this is just to show you what you're going to be doing later, right? And then
so
he's like flying. Yeah. and the thing is, it's okay to just, you know, let's do some stick figures. I'm trying to make it as simple.
You do like the like boom, bop, pow.
Of course, yeah.
Like a little. It's like a little star shape.
So you could that's the beauty of making your own comics, especially when you're independent. You can actually make the all the way from the art all the way to the way you write your letters.
Oh, you have like a font preference?
Yeah, you
font style?
So I know some comic artists that will literally write their own letters. Cool. Yeah. Okay. I cannot do that because my lettering is that bad. But yeah, so then you like add some little like buildings as like
I was gonna draw like a car is crashing.
Yeah, car crashing. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, car crashing, boop. You know, car crashing. And then
again, this is just an initial sketch, people.
Okay. Yeah, don't worry, it's gonna look a lot better.
And then all the townspeople are happy because Superman saved the day as he flies in the air.
Yeah, exactly. I love that. Right. See, you're natural.
This is what I have so far. Can we zoom in on that? Can you see my artistic work at its finest?
Yeah.
But all that to be said, Paul, this was such a miniature version. Of this is step one.
So yeah, this is step one exactly. So obviously, right. We're gonna blow this up, right? So now what we do is we just copy what we do from here and we blow it up, right? So now we just like
got the plan done.
So now you got the plan done. Yeah, exactly.
And more detailed. And do you use colored pencils, I guess, when you're doing your comics also?
So I'm usually doing digital completely, right? And but when it comes to traditional, usually colored pencils, ink. Those are the two things that I usually use.
Wow.
When in my classes, I teach both traditional and digital. So depending on what you're going for, obviously traditional is a lot harder because it requires once again making mistakes.
It's tedious work.
Yeah. Making mistakes is a lot harder on that one, as well as you got to learn how to scan correctly, because otherwise if you don't scan it, it's not going to look well when you post it on the internet and stuff like that.
What would you have, Paul, as we kind of wrap up? We'll continue to draw during the break, but kind of biggest tip for beginners? I mean, they're intimidated. I mean, seeing this blank page is intimidating, but again, you make your plan, but kind of overall tips that you have for just, again, kind of really matching what we see in our head and putting it on paper, because that's not easy. It's a big skill.
The biggest thing the first day of class I always say, just have fun. Yeah. Don't worry about the rules. Don't worry about having some crazy ideas about you have to have such high expectations. Just draw and have fun, because if you're not having fun, then what's the point?
Exactly.
Exactly.
I'm having fun right here. I'm just sketching right here, these little squares. Well, Paul, you are so talented, and we do want to stress again, you teach these classes. Tell us again what you have coming up on the calendar for people who want to work with you, what that looks like. How can we get involved?
Yeah, so July 10th, I will be starting up part 2 of my classes, and each class will be doing it every Thursday.
Okay.
And we'll be learning a new process on the Huntsville Art Supplies website. You can check out what sites or what days are what you'll be learning each day, because we'll be learning different things each day.
People can sign up that way.
Yes.
I love it. Paul, you're so talented. Thank you for coming on. We're going to continue to draw during the break, but up next we're talking to